Hey everybody, my name is Nathan Grimes. Today we are going to talk about creating a positive environment for you to operate in. So, one of the biggest things that a leader needs to do is you need to be the person that somebody can look up to at all times. And if you're giving off a negative vibration or a negative attitude, then that immediately is going to translate into your teams. I'm not joking about that. That can and that will happen. So you need to make sure that at all times you are showing positivity, you're showing the optimism because your team is looking at you on how to react on certain situations. So I'm going to go ahead and roll right into this. I really start with evaluating your life. So you got to take a step back and you really have to really think hard about this. Look at what your life is looking like. Are you catching yourself consistently saying negative things? Are you catching yourself being negative towards other people or holding grudges? Even if you're holding a grudge, that is a huge negative vibration that I do not recommend you have. You need to really stress the positivity, but it all starts with evaluating your lifestyle. On to the next portion of it, you need to really rid your life of negativity. So people are going to be negative. They are. Unfortunately, the way society works is you are an average of the 5 people you choose to surround yourself with. I had to do it multiple times. I actually cleanse my lifestyle once a month. At the end of every month, I go through and I'm like, okay, who's not adding value to my life? Who is causing consistent negativity? Like if I'm feeling down, who's causing me to feel that way? And I'll address it. I want you to be confrontational about your happiness. Your positivity is your life. It is your lifestyle. It's your team's lifeblood because they're going to be looking up to you. And if you're not happy or you're down in the drain, they're going to go right down with you unless you have a strong person in your team who's going to pull you out of that. But to be a leader, you got to be at the front of everything. So you got to be the one pulling yourself out of that. And you need to recognize the signs of what's going to bring you there. Me personally, it took me about 3 months to perfect my own mentality. I had to figure out a lot about myself, and I think the process of going through and creating a positive lifestyle is a huge opportunity to learn who you really are as a person, what truly makes you happy rather than thinking what makes you happy. So after you rid your life of that negativity, I don't care if it's going on social media and getting rid of people that you know just bring you down. I don't care if it's going through your phone, deleting numbers. I don't care. Like you got to figure it out. Me personally, if somebody's bringing a negative attitude at me, even though they're good friends of mine, or I considered them good friends of mine, and they brought negativity to my doorstep, what I do is I confront them. I start with it going, hey, look, like this is how you're making me feel, and it's not appreciated. So you give them an opportunity to fix it because you don't just want to throw people to the side. You don't want to do that, especially if you consider them good friends. If they're not willing to change and not willing to treat you the way that you know you deserve to be treated, then unfortunately, I do believe this to the fullest of my heart that you need to move them to the acquaintance column and you need to move on from them. I've pushed a lot of people off to the side that I thought were really good friends of mine, but if they weren't willing to change to better themselves and to keep my vibrations positive, then they're not the friends I want. So I started off personally with writing down a list of people that I know that I associate with, and I wrote down that whole list. And then what I did was I put a plus sign and a minus sign next to them. So the plus sign was, hey, like this person's a really positive influence towards me. This person makes me feel good about myself. This person pushes me to be better. And then if they had a minus sign, it was because they consistently brought negativity to my doorstep or they consistently try to bring me down to their level. And what I immediately did was those people who had negatives, I tried to address it. I tried saying, hey, why do you do this? Why do you think this way? I'm curious. And if they don't recognize it after that, that's when you push them to the side. The people that were positive influences in my life, one of which is Taylor Magnuson, I reached out to him. I was in Carolina. I was in a really deep spot with the Army. And I reached out to him and I said, hey, Taylor, like when I get back, I want to hang out. I did that with 5 people. I selected 5 people that I wanted to surround myself with. And I'm going to keep coming back to this. You are an average of the 5 people you surround yourself with and that you associate yourself with. So if you're hanging out with 4 dumbasses, guess what? You're the 5th. Like, you try to tell me I'm wrong. And if you surround yourself with 4 very successful people and like-minded people that want nothing but good things, then guess what? You became the 5th person. You are going to change your mindset. You are going to put off those vibrations because you are going to be in a better place mentally and a better place physically. So that's going to roll me into the next portion of this. Creating a positive lifestyle is just that. It is a lifestyle. So if you're treating your body wrong, that's negative energy. So if you're consistently drinking, smoking, throwing just absolute trash into your body and not taking care of yourself, that's a negative energy that you probably not intentionally put off. If you treat your body right, your mind will be treated right. It goes hand in hand. Mind, body, spirit. Those 3 things are all connected. So you really need to understand how the connections work. And even if you just start baby steps, okay, like if I'm a smoker, I'm not going to cut, don't try to do a cold turkey. You're going to want to quit. All right. But just take steps, baby steps to ease off of it. If you drink every weekend, have you ever thought about why? Like if you're a smoker, why? Like, why'd you start? And then understand just that. Like, okay, I'm a drinker. Why'd I start? Why am I going out every weekend? Like, people don't ask those questions. And I have friends that all the time, I see them going out every single weekend. And I'm like, you're spending at least $100 a weekend when you're going out. And I know that you're making maybe $300 to $400 a week. So you're spending a third to a fourth of your paycheck a week to drown out the fact that you're miserable. So instead, how about you take that money on the weekend, save it, and try to invest it in something else that's going to make you happy. So start to ask questions. Ask yourself the whys, because those whys are so important on leading you to your development that I can't emphasize it enough. So that's gonna pull me over to the next portion, which is truly look for the positivity in your life and emphasize it. Emphasize that positivity. If that positivity is a person, if that positivity is helping others, if that positivity is a type of job that you just love, if that positivity is playing a game you love, whatever makes you happy, do it and emphasize it and really put a spotlight on it and don't allow others to ruin it. So I'm really big on telling, not allowing other people to determine your happiness. You determine your reality. You ultimately can have full control of your reality. And people get so blinded by the fact that other people are trying to tell them how to live their life. Who the fuck cares what anybody else thinks? You shouldn't. Because guess what? At the end of the day and at the end of your life, as greedy as this sounds and as fucked up as this sounds, the only thing that should matter is your happiness. Because once you hit that grave, once you're 6 feet under, does it matter if you made some random person happy? If you weren't happy? If you spent your whole life trying to make one person happy that didn't give a fuck about you, and you just wasted your entire life doing that, who the fuck cares? You need to understand that your happiness comes first. In order for you to help others and in order for you to make other people feel better, you need to be in a proper mindset at all times. So take care of yourself first. It's so important. And I stress this so much because it's something I'm truly passionate about. I love helping people. I make myself happy by helping others. But how can I help others if I can't help myself? I can't. So I took the struggle. I went through it. I learned it the hard way. And that's where I'm coming in and I'm trying to cut the learning curve for you guys. It's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. Sometimes walking away from toxic people is really hard because what they do is they bring you down to their level. They try to make you dependent on them. That way, you're never going to go and do anything greater than what their full intention is. Because those toxic people are never going to reach new levels. They just want to keep dragging you down because they know you're trying to take off for the stars. And so you can't let them keep you grounded on earth. You can't. You got to say bye, drop the weight, and take off. It's just like a space shuttle. Space shuttles aren't able to take off if they got too much baggage, right? So cut the baggage, cut the weight, and take off. You have to do that. So that kind of falls into the reinforcement. Like finally, you really need to share positivity with others. So if you're consistently sharing positivity with others, I fully believe that you're radiating that positivity, you're living that positivity because you're so focused on trying to share it that it becomes you. That positivity is 100% you. And I know that you can go ahead and be what you want to be because your reality is determined by you. People are the most important thing of just the world, of life. All right. People try to say, oh, money's the most important thing. Objects are the most important things. No, people are. And if you don't treat people right and you don't take care of people, then you're not going to have everything that you want. People come first. So just do what you can to take care of them. And I guarantee everything's going to come back at you in wonderful fashion. So right now, what I want to do is I want to roll into the quote portion. First man up, I'm going to call out Zach. I told you it was coming. So go ahead and unmute yourself. The quote I want you to go ahead and listen to is, I like to encourage people to realize that any action is a good action if it's proactive and there is positive intent behind it. So what does that make you think? What do you feel about that quote?
So I feel like any action, if you're at least giving it your all, then there's a positive you can take out of it. If you're just half-assing it, if you're just kind of going through the motions, then there's no positive in that. You might as well not even do it, honestly.
Exactly. You won't do it, and you won't do it for the right intentions. And usually if you half-ass something, you're not doing it for the right intentions in the first place. So you need to go all in on your positivity. You need to go all in on what you're doing in order to truly make a difference. So going off of that, T, you're up, man. I got a good one for you, and I know you're going to like it. All right. So the quote is, life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we react to it. What are your thoughts, T? Do you walk away? All right. And you're up. Let me hear you.
All right. What's up?
So life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we react to it.
So I think this just goes back to, there's that 10% where you cannot control, and whatever you do, it's out of your control, but how you react to it is basically anything. It's whatever you put into your hands and how you react. So I guess, let me gathering my thoughts. I'd say that you put yourself in whatever situation that you want to put yourself in. So if you react to a situation poorly, then everything in your environment and everything about yourself and your mentality is going to be poor. And so it's how you react to it, and you take things as not a failure, but as a lesson. So I think that there are no failures in life. They're all lessons, like what you had said in the previous videos. And so that's why I think that quote really comes back to.
Exactly. And so something I'm going to really touch on with this portion. So it says 10% of life, like what happens to us in life, that's the 10% is what happens, but the 90% is how we react to it. So when you're blasting positivity out there, there's going to be people that envy you. There's going to be people that don't want you to be happy. So you're gonna naturally get negative people trying to swarm to you because they want to bring you down to their level. Now, the cool thing about that is if you have negative people that swarm to you for the right reasons, who are looking for help, those are the great relationships you're going to build. But there's going to be a lot of people that are going to come after you and try to drag you down, and they're going to come at you with a lot of hate. They're going to come at you with everything they got just because they're angry, sad people. And so one of the things that I really stress is that you react to them with more positivity. Let your brightness overconsume their darkness. It's yin and yang, right? It's an equal balance. So you're ultimately going to have to keep that balance. And the thing is that if you come in and you blast them with positivity and they're coming at you with nothing but hate, you're going to get nothing but respect, because they can go ahead and keep saying, I hate you. And I want you to respond back with, I love you. Instead of hate, love. There's been a lot of that these last few years, right? Just out in society. So we really need to stress reacting in positive manners to bad situations and bad just negativity in general. So I'm going to go ahead and touch on 2 more quotes here that I just want to share with you guys. I'm not going to have anybody respond because we're getting kind of long here. But one of them is Abraham Lincoln. I'm a huge fan of Abraham Lincoln. He's just a great mentor. If you want to look up to him and do some research on him, he's just awesome. So one of the quotes from Abe is, when I do good, I feel good. When I do bad, I feel bad. That's my religion. So whether you're a religious person or not, that's great. If you believe in energies, that's awesome. But it all comes down to the same concept. If you're doing good and putting good out, you're going to get good back. If you're doing bad and putting bad out, you're going to get bad in return. This is something called the law of attraction. The law of attraction is so important, and you got to remember that. If you're trying to go out there and attract all these awesome, cool people, yet you're being an uncool tool and you're putting out these bad vibrations and you're treating people poorly, you're not going to get those people. You're not. So just remember to do good things and you'll get good things in return. And then finally, the one I want to end on is Maya Angelou. I love Maya Angelou. She's awesome. She was awesome. Rest in peace. But she said, you are the sum total of everything you've ever seen, heard, eaten, smelled, been told, forgot. It's all there. Everything influences each of us. And because of that, I try to make sure that my experiences are positive. So let me go ahead and run through that. Everything you've ever seen, ever heard, ever eaten, smelled, been told, forgot. It's all a part of you. So everything that you do, every aspect of life really needs to be a positive experience. And I get it. It's natural human emotions that you're going to battle. You're going to have depressing times. You're going to have angry times. And I'm not saying suppress those, but control them. I just had a really close friend of mine go through a pretty traumatic experience. And I told him, take 5 minutes and be angry. But do it in a place where nobody can see it. That's just your time. 5 minutes and be angry. Take 5 minutes and be sad. Take 5 minutes and be depressed. But after that, stop feeling sorry for yourself. Pick yourself up and get back to work. You're an awesome person, and you can't let certain situations, bad situations, bring you down to that level. So on that, I'm going to go ahead and end the call. I will not be doing a call tomorrow due to scheduling issues, but we will be back at it on Monday with some fire content. So I hope all of you have a wonderful weekend, and make sure that you guys stay safe. All right. Have a good one.